What is going on, everyone's? We are here and we are back with another episode of
Is My Point Valid?
Yes, indeed. I'm yours truly, Brandon D.
And I am Camille A. Stocker.
And the topic for today is going to be
Minnesota Representative Omar Fetah, another Democratic Socialist on the loop.
Yes, goodness. I don't know where this boy came from. But like I said before, these Democrats, they just seem to come from out of nowhere. I don't know. I ain't never heard of him, but we gonna find out about him today. Omar, he is a Muslim from Somalia. He says certain things. You gotta listen to what he says, because he says certain things that let you know which side he's really for. And we'll listen to what he says, and we'll let y'all know what we think after. So, or during. So, yeah.
And as we discussed in The Angle, crazy Marxist radicals, they're well-funded and determined, aren't confined to New York. Minnesota may just have found its own Mamdani. Meet socialist Omar Fetah. He's running to be the next mayor of Minneapolis. Now listen closely to what he considers back home.
I understand that our Somali communities are all connected to each other here in Minnesota and back home, and I ask for your support. There's always been a link between our community here as well as back home, and I'm running to bridge that gap and unite all of us.
Back home, Somalia. And just like Mamdani, he's on the side of illegal aliens.
She said back home, Somalia.
Over law and order.
Protect our city from a hostile White House. Protecting all of our communities from Donald Trump means not letting MPD interact with ICE, whether it's for an immigration raid or not.
Here to discuss is Batya Ungar-Sargon, journalist and author, and Byron York, Fox News contributor and chief political correspondent for the Washington Examiner. Batya, why are these radicals like Fateh and Mamdani
trying to keep it together,
gaining the traction they are?
Thank you so much for having me, Laura. Here's the thing, this is no longer your grandfather's Democratic Party. They really have taken over what was once a radical fringe, is now being lauded by this center, which has really lost purchase with the American people. And the reason for that, Laura, is because your grandfather's Democratic Party represented labor. It represented the working class. It was deeply invested in the idea that the hardest working Americans should have a fair shot at the American dream. And you know whose platform that is today? That is Donald Trump's platform today. Today, the Democratic Party is made up of an over-credentialed college elite, the top 10% who work in knowledge industry jobs. They consider work itself to be dehumanizing. And so what they want is an open border to welcome in millions and millions of illegals to do the jobs that they consider to be beneath them, and for all Americans to live on welfare. The two parties today aren't.
Just like Jasmine Crockett be saying, ain't none of y'all gonna go pick no cotton.
She did say that. Want to know a fact about my grandmother picked cotton? My grandfather picked cotton.
A lot of these
and they
people
weren't slaves. They were sharecroppers, so they got paid to do the job. And it was the job that put food on the table for my mama and them to be fed. So
why you out here trying to shine on somebody?
It put food on the table. It was a work. And it might not have been the work that you want to do.
I don't understand how y'all be down talking any work if you ain't got no work.
And because you went to college, does that and
overqualified?
Yes, this is true, because the Fatah dude, he's my age. So this whole thing of you must be educated, and then I think also in their brains too, and what's being taught. I didn't go to a big university, so I don't know. But and then I wasn't like their age when they just went through the ropes and everything. Yeah. But I think they are taught that if you have a college education, you're better
than everybody else, especially if you go to a Oxford or
right. You are better than I'm gonna say you're better than the poor, the needy. You're better than them. So you can get into office and you can tell them what they need because they don't know what they need.
You'll be their Robin Hood.
And you've never worked with your hands a day in your life.
Can't relate to nobody down there.
And y'all are here because your parents sacrificed to get into America. And then what do you say?
Mind you, they did it the right way.
The correct way. And then you say, damn America, basically.
Because he just said back home.
To go back home. That's
back
what,
home.
What's her name?
Ilhan.
Yes,
Omar.
she just said she said something
back
similar
home.
Back home. Like, so why don't y'all
go
if y'all are not
back home?
But if she goes back home,
and
she won't be in the position that she's in.
What's crazy is this little guy here, Omar Fetah, he was born here.
That's why I say he's my age.
He was born here, and he still considers somewhere he probably been once or twice as home.
But then that's also what is the teachings, right? What is he being taught? Well, you moved here and you get every opportunity that every American can get, but your home is not. This is not your home.
Your loyalty is to home,
right? Your loyalty is not to America.
So why are we placing these people whose loyalty is not to us in positions to lead us?
And he had the same video like that Mamdani had during.
Same thing.
It's the same.
It's the same messaging and everything. They probably have the same publicists and everything.
Aren't really right versus left anymore. It's whether you are pro-America, pro-American, pro-worker, and pro-work, or whether you hate all of those things.
Right. Yeah, I think, Byron, when Americans hear someone like Fateh talk about back home being Somalia, and people have to know, I think there are about 90,000, 100,000 Somalis living in the Twin Cities area. It's the largest population of Somalis, Somalian people outside of the country. That was courtesy of, I think the Bushes began that, and it grew and grew. But he outlined, Byron, some of his plans on his campaign website, saying that he has deep ties in his community and worked on issues such as environmental and racial justice, restorative urban planning, including, and here's the kicker, reparations to black neighborhoods destroyed by highways. Byron, that's environmental justice, and that's just the old claptrap we've been hearing for years.
So I typed the text, no, I'm joking.
True.
When these highways or these new developments come into black neighborhoods, those people have been paid by these corporations, by the government to move.
Matter of fact, they give you an offer.
Yes. You can take it or you can leave it or you can fight it. But they're basically saying eventually we're going to take it.
We're going to give you a chance because you don't have enough money to fight us.
So what that just said was, oh, yeah, they already got paid.
They got paid. So
let's give them some more money.
Yeah. Some free stuff.
To make people think that, oh, people are just pushing big corporations and government. They're just pushing people out. That's not how that works. These people are being paid and they're being offered something and they are taking the money and they are moving away from
you getting paid a settlement, spending all the money and getting mad when you ain't got no more money.
They took it. Do you see my house used to be right here and now it's running through?
Telling all these doggone lies to these other generations that don't know no better. And ain't doing no research to find out no better.
Yeah, so a lot of people who be crying wolf about that, they've been paid.
All that gentrification, they've been paid.
Because I used to feel so like, oh my goodness, they're taking over, man.
No, you nigglets is selling.
You sold it. It was grandma's house. That was grandma's land.
You sold it.
Man, I used to feel so like, no, people selling it because you want the money.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I'm going to fix this up, anyway.
Matter of fact, most of the time, it'd be like, I don't want to do the work.
There you go.
Involved with maintaining this. So I'm going to sell it and go pay rent.
I'm not laughing.
I know somebody that did that. Stole their property to go pay rent for the rest of their life. Mm-hmm.
So when people say that, it's big cap.
Yeah, environmental justice is always a tip-off of a far-left position. Listen, part of, I think, what we're talking about is due to the unusual circumstances of the Democratic primary in New York in which Mamdani could win with a fairly small percentage of the vote. And even now in the general election polls, he's polling around 35%, which, if the other candidates stay in, maybe they won't, but if they do, he can win. Part of this is the appeal of socialism to voters who are 18 to 29 years old. We had a recent poll that showed that 62% of them said that they had a positive view of socialism. I don't think that's a big mystery. How long have we talked about how far left college campuses are? These people are recently removed from college campuses. Plus, it's a very expensive world, and socialist candidates are promising free stuff.
Free everything.
So I think that's what's going on. But so far, we've seen its biggest success in an unusual, highly divided race in New York City.
Well, Fateh, I also think part of the reason that young people have this affection, perhaps, for socialism is that capitalism, for years under the globalist, control, really didn't deliver a lot for young people. I mean, in the 80s, Byron and I were, carefree in the 80s. Well, it was working, right? You get a good job and you get decent pay.
You gotta work. These youngsters seeing how they had to work, they don't want that. They want free everything. And that's what socialism, communism, Marxism is. They want that because they look past all the negatives and see free everything.
But where was this taught? Schools, y'all. Elementary, middle school, high school, and then if you go to college, if you go to a liberal university, not even if it even just doesn't matter.
All the universities.
All the universities.
They hitting you, banging your head from elementary school to college. That's why they're encouraging you to go to college so they can bang you in your head some more with this liberal talk.
Right. So that you're getting fed these things. Like I said, these men, these people, they are they're in both of our age range, but they're closer to my age. And yes. And so it's kind of like I'm squinting because I'm looking like, man, look, I saw my daddy go to work, right? Well, he was he worked as a trade. I saw my mama stay at home. It's a homemaker and she took care of us children. I saw my mama do the thing, but I saw my daddy work. I saw other men in my family work. It was no thing of, I'm gonna sit on my behind and let
coming home dirty.
No, yes, it was that. It was
some work was done.
I saw men work.
Yeah.
I wasn't raised around lazy people.
No free nothing.
No. And I'm squinting if you tell me something's free.
That's what I was just about to say. Man, I was taught, man, if somebody trying to give you something free,
it ain't
it's
free.
It's something behind that. It's like in a jailhouse. You already know. Don't take nothing for free.
Like I can have this. I can just take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have it. What comes with it? You have to sign this, and then no, thank you.
I need one arm and one leg for a piece of bread.
Hey, you go to college. Mostly Americans went to American universities. It worked, but now. And you get 2 or 3 jobs, barely pay for your health care, barely pay your rent. And so the promise of globalization didn't pan out, but now they're going to socialism, which is even a worse lurch.
Worse.
I'm so glad you said that, Laura. I could not agree with you more. In many ways, the economy that was built by both parties prior to Trump really contributed to the downward mobility of working class Americans, but also to the situation where even hardworking young people feel accurately that they will never be able to afford a home. If you cannot buy a home, you cannot invest in a community. You cannot become a person who has that independence to say, I am a cornerstone of this community, of this family, of this nation. And so I totally agree with you. By shipping these great manufacturing jobs overseas to build up China and Mexico's middle class, and then importing millions and millions of people to do the remaining jobs here for people without a college degree, we effectively mortgaged away, the future of these young people.
Yep. Yeah. And Byron, really quickly, the idea that Mamdani or this new Fateh character are like populists like Trump is just laughable. I mean, they're trying to piggyback on Trump to advance that cause.
Yeah. That's not going to work. That's not going to work either. I think part of the reason that we're seeing such success for him. I think you were very smart at the top of the show to stress how messed up the Democratic Party is right now. That leads to greater attention where there's more energy in the party, which is on the leftist fringes. We saw AOC and Bernie Sanders getting big crowds at speeches around the country. Now we're seeing Mamdani. The fringes are attracting attention right now. The big headache for Democrats comes when big general elections come and they can't win with those candidates.
It's just, but I am like Trump. Grab the popcorn. I love our cities, but if they go down this road, this is what they're doing, and they'll come crawling back. Batya, Byron, thank you both.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.
In those 4 years, do you know how much damage can be done in 4 years? Do you know how much damage can be done because you choose somebody who does not really represent you? And I don't even like the whole reference.
He gonna set you back 10 years. 4 years ain't gonna do nothing for you. Just like all the rest of them doggone clowns who set us back.
Like this is
I don't even
interesting.
understand. Man, say.
Why would you want? I'm still stuck on why don't you want to work for something? Because then I am looking at elementary, middle school, and high school. Well, I didn't really even still, I was in band and we had to work for something. Like that was something rigorous. It wasn't something like, oh, I just going to get by. No, we had to work.
You got to show up.
Right. We had to show up. It's interesting.
These kids don't got to show up and nothing. But hey, if that's what y'all decide y'all want to vote for, just like Mamdani, y'all in trouble.
Look, I would look in. I can't tell you who to vote for because but look into the definitions of what socialism is, what communism is.
Not what they telling you.
Look up the real definition.
Up examples.
Yes, examples. Look up the real definition of what capitalism is and how it should be helpful to look up like the top jobs, like what are the highest paying jobs? Did you major in that? Or do you have a degree that
you got one of them? I went to college degrees just to go to college degrees. Because
I have a college degree just because I went to college degree and I am looking like, what the heck did I do? Right. And so
I always think about a kinesiology degree.
I don't have that one. But
that's the first thing
that's what a lot of people went into.
These bigger figures be going to college, getting these kinesiology degrees, and don't do nothing with nothing they got to do with anything physical.
And I think
half of them be fat.
I think when I read, because I was looking into something, I think like one of the top degrees is engineering and architecture. And fun fact, you don't even have to really go to school. Yes, the top paying.
Not
you
top
don't
degrees.
Yeah, that's true. The top paying jobs are architecture and engineering. And then with architecture, you really don't have to go to college. If you know somebody that you can work your way through that. But anyway, there's always a way around. So.
But anyway,
yep.
If that's what y'all want, do what you do.
Do some research though, please.
But we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. So, like always, it's love, peace, and soul. Like Soul Train, baby. Out of here.